Alright, welcome back to the stream. Today we're playing What Remains of Edith Finch. I believe this is a sad game, so let's brace ourselves for what is to come. Right, let me open the stream so I can see the chat. Alright. And we go. Yep. Just started. Literally just started. Sorry for the moving around the thing, but was not adjusted to the screen. Alright. How do I control this? I can zoom with you. Controls. I think it's with the mouse. Oh, it moves automatically. That's good.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
I'm sorry. Alright, let's do this.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Okay, that's kinda odd.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Oh, alright. That's sad.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
So I'm guessing she went away from home for some reason? Because she wants to bring her back?
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Deer, I guess. Never saw a deer in real life, to be honest.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
You can always
But
sell
now
it.
I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
That is such a strange house. And that is very risky.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Well, I would be too. It's gonna collapse on the, especially on that side.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
Alright. Let's search for a back door, I guess. Maybe through the garage. If not, I can always break a window, I guess. The door? That's a big door.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left.
Alright.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
This
But
place
instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
should be way more dusty. Just a second. I'm sorry, I have to check something real quick. I'm back. This place should be way more dusty, to be honest. Even if there's no people around, I believe books and all that stuff still leaves dust with time. And dust coming from outside. So this place is too clean, I guess.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
You can always sell it, I guess.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth.
Open the door. What is
My
this?
mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Missing. That's sad.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Why? I hope that's not literal.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Oh, they got some technology here.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Alright.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Probably you're that.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Alright.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Molly.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner.
How dramatic.
I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Okay.
My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Don't eat the fish.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Good. Why would you eat Christopher? What has Christopher done to you?
I kept eating and eating.
Toothpaste, huh? Ah. That doesn't seem good.
I ate a lot of things that night.
It's only one night, girl.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Oh, please don't go outside.
And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Take him down. I mean... What? Chase the bird.
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
I don't see anything, man. I would be a bad owl.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Something bigger.
A mama rabbit.
It's hard to control the owl. Where are you? Oh, I cannot see anything.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
A land shark, I guess. Oh.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Hmm. Very artistic, I guess. But I'm guessing she's choking on something? Or maybe she poisoned herself? Oh, missions, where are you?
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Oh, I can look down. That explains a lot.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Where is it?
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Can I go this way? It's so dark I can barely see. Oh, I see. So that's how I move. I have to move the tentacle. I was wondering how I was moving so randomly, but I'm sorry.
I was big, but I moved real quiet. wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Hello. Any juicy snacks over here? Very strong imagination with this one.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
Alright.
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer.
Closer to what?
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
So she's dead, right? Man, 10 years old, that she was so young. Time to be on account.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
I would not have done that. That would
I
be
spent
painful.
a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
What?
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Okay, that's a crazy backstory.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Yeah, you could say that.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Alright.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
This seems so bad. Cleaning up this place must be horrible. Okay.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Alright. A weird story, I guess.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
This is such a confusing house.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again, and he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Okay.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Do I look?
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Well, who builds a swing right next to a cliff?
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
I mean, sure, I have to. It's been a long time since I've been on a swing, but everyone does it, right? Try to go as high as possible. Well, yeah. That just seems like poor
After
planning.
the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
This doesn't really seem like a Christmas, like really bad planning.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
What do you mean smaller bellies?
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Oof, a child star. Those can be really bad.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
She peaked early? Oh no, don't go back in.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
How do I get out? Oh, here?
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Alright.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Gonna be real? Call the police? Hide? Close the door? I don't know. If your boyfriend couldn't handle it, what hope do you have of doing it?
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crack.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Have to do something really quick. Sorry, I'm checking something out.
coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
How funny, man. How funny.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
A happy? I wouldn't count that happy. What the hell? This Edie person doesn't seem... I guess I'll get out the way I came in.
It's funny. I guess all those now times I know why Mom didn't music like box playing with the music box. Found the basement key.
What the hell? The basement key. Got it. Alright, where was I? Went into the basement, I guess.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Yeah. This place seems really dangerous, to be honest. It's been...
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
What the hell?
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive the week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
No, sane is an overstatement, I guess.
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. And maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
$30 on canned food, is that even possible? Without going into the sun?
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Fair.
Whatever's out there,
This
I
is
want you to know
train tracks.
I'm ready for it.
I don't think you can win. It's time to get this
I
guy.
appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week.
How about a
Happy
few minutes?
with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
What? He got this kind.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Also, who has a train track going to their home? Or next to their home? What?
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
The crazy goes in the family.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Alright.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
I guess why not?
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Don't these things have a time limit where they stop working?
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
I guess. It sounds odd.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Or maybe you need to have a better structure? For the house?
We've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Sure.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Okay.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Every night. Okay.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
I can see your chat, but I'm trying to enjoy the story. Also, welcome to the chat, Astra. So I wasn't really looking at the chat.
Like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
This place seems like a lot of unnecessary trouble, and also,
But looking back on it now,
therapy needed, I guess, for each member.
if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
I knew it. When she mentioned the belly, it was obvious that she was probably pregnant. Your name didn't pop up on the stream? I don't have the chat on stream because sometimes people say things I
never
don't
met
want them to
Sam,
show on
but
screen.
I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Also, Twitch had a rule that I cannot show other chats, so also I doubt showing chat for that reason.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
A ver. Alright, let's watch the story then.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Alright.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
Astra, right? If you're trying to sell me something, I'm just gonna tell you straight away, I'm not buying anything. So, you can search for another client.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Alright, why do I have to take a photo? I'm cautious because people have said some really out of pocket stuff sometimes, so Not because they're trying to sell me stuff, by the way.
Aw.
What am I trying to take a photo of? Can't see anything.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Nothing quite like being outside.
Alright.
Oop. A little more gas in the tank, I guess.
What am I supposed to take a picture of him?
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Alright.
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
Oh dear, huh?
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of it.
Picture of what?
Dad,
Let me get behind you.
do I have to do this?
The old tradition of taking one life,
But if you want to survive,
taking a life, I
be
guess.
strong. Great shot, Don. I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Up there?
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Alright, that's a dumb way to die. But I guess we can all go in a dumb way.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
What is this? Divorce contract.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
A baby? That's so sad. That's super sad. But babies are fragile. I've heard that even in they can drown in an inch of water or something like that, which is crazy to me. So you have to be really careful with babies.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Empty the thing.
Hello?
No call is
I don't want to talk right now.
that important.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw. It sure made him happy.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it.
Oh no,
I don't want Gregory to hear.
that's so sad.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything.
That's so sad. I've known someone that lost their baby quite a long time ago, and they never forget it. Man. That's so sad. That's super sad.
I'm sure he's happy. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
No, no, that's something you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. People say that losing a son is one of the most painful things that can happen to you. Some say it's the most painful thing that can happen to you. So that's super sad. And sometimes I know this was because she was not paying enough attention, but sometimes accidents happen, right? Sometimes even if the parent is paying attention, it only takes a few seconds for the baby to swallow something, or the parents fall asleep and the baby does something to something that put their life in danger. So that's super sad.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
It's been so long since I used a kite. I actually forgot that these things exist.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Yeah, when I was little, my father took me
Talk him out
to.
of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
My father took me to use a kite. It's one of the few things that we did together. I remember it to this day. But I only used it once, so it's so that I remember it. Can I crush it? Alright.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
This is a bad idea. I'm gonna get electrocuted, right? The shortest way to the ground should be a tree, but it could be a kite. Of thunder, I guess.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Make the music loud, huh?
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
So not thunder, huh? I guess it's really dangerous. A storm and a small kid.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Okay. I'd be so paranoid.
After her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Okay.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
All right. What? That was not the way? I'm guessing I'm going the wrong way. She has not spoken. Oh yeah, the bear story. Yeah, I came in through this way. That's right, that's right. Man, this house is a nightmare to clean and to live in. You have to go through small corridors that are more like a crawling space. Have to climb a wall to get to the. I mean, it's fun if you're young, but what happens when you get older?
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
This is such a dangerous spot, man. A castle, huh?
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
I like this kind of animation, but oh my god, I restarted it. I'm sorry, but it seems like it's so much work. But I guess animation is always a lot of work.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Right.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
I guess she literally sealed the doors.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Oh. Random trash bag. Or whatever that is. Oh, some box, I guess.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room. Except Louis.
This is such a dangerous thing, man. What the hell? A boat? A plane? What is this?
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
One can move. That's interesting.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. and toads.
Okay. That is
Things that have not names.
Impressive imagination.
He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Oh, isometric view now.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
No medication for that.
I even encouraged him.
Why?
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Although,
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band.
now going to the building.
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor.
And he won, of course.
And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
All right.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a beautiful prince.
I guess he's gay. Well, whatever. Unlucky mothers.
The prince was on his own quest for radiant rainbows.
Radiant rainbows. Oh, okay.
followed the sound of his electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
So?
And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Okay. The game is evolving, I guess.
We began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Yeah, this is me, I guess. Or well, Louis? Because what's the name of the character I'm using?
I still
It's
thought
not
I could
Louis.
save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
The wise Calico. Why is it a conveyor belt? Oh. Yes. He's gonna become the fish? Faceless minions.
His prince waiting, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
At least it was fast, I guess. Do it.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Why not do a lawsuit against the cannery? They had a psych evaluation telling that he was losing grip on reality, and they didn't do anything. Well, what do I know? I'm not a lawyer. I have no idea about laws. At least that psychiatrist almost lost her license.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
But what do I know? Alright.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Oh, it's time to fight.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
Okay, that's a tsunami warning.
God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Just go straight.
I got turned around.
Never mind. I guess you cannot go straight.
For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things.
Fog is super scary. I've been in thick fog and you cannot see 2 meters in front of you. It's super scary.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
There was a, what do you call it? A cliff to the left because we were on the highway. I believe that's how it's called. Sorry, English is not my main language, but it was super scary. You were just watching the car in front of you for the lights, and if you stop seeing the lights, you stop because that means he fell. It was super dangerous. Since then, I really don't. I avoid fog if I can.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Alright.
I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
Goodbye.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Well, at least it was quick.
She got better for a while.
And then she was gone, right?
She didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself.
So she died giving birth?
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Oh man. This game is
This is where
sad.
your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Does he have a dad? Is he... Oh my god. Just tear the place down and build something new, sell the land or whatever you can do, but... I don't know, man. I think most of those deaths could be avoided. Accidents do happen, but so many, it's no longer an accident, right? It's just incompetence. I don't know. Also, sealing things away because you're sad and don't want to see them. You know, my mom also got sick and passed away. And yeah, it was pretty much the same pattern. She got a little better before she passed away. It was really hard, but you think about the people that live and I've come to the conclusion that the people that die as a grown person are less sad than the people that died when they are very young. Because when someone is old and passes away, at least they lived a long life, right? But when they're young and they haven't had the chance to grow up and do things and make mistakes and leave their own things behind, that's when I get really sad because I don't know. That is always really hard to deal with. And we can only take it one day at a time, right? But when we are young, we don't really think about that. So sometimes I wish I was a child again, but honestly, I really wish to go back to those times where we would meet in family. That at the time I thought it was really annoying, but after some people pass away, the family structure really falls apart, and people stop meeting each other, and suddenly everyone is too busy, and you start to lose contact with people, and then it's when the families fall apart, right? When they go their own way. So sometimes I really wish that I could go back to those times where there was a big meeting where all the family would gather along and have dinner together, right? So these kind of games remind me of that. The things you don't appreciate when you are really young, but as you grow older, you start to miss a lot. So that was the game. Really sad game, but I guess everyone has their own story, right? Hope you guys enjoyed. It's a sad story, but sometimes it's good to remind ourselves about these kind of things. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Have a nice day. Goodbye.